Theories. We got alien bubonic plague.
Okay. Uh,
Do I need
can
to
you explain
explain?
this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So
Is
the
this
theory
that the aliens were
that the
responsible for the
aliens
bubonic?
brought the bubonic plague.
Okay, well, that one's just evidently false. That one's really, really dumb. We can
Underpants
track
go on the
the
outside.
yeah, and that's got to be underpants go on the outside because we can literally track the genome of that specific bacteria.
Well, yeah, it came from Turkish people. All right. Well, we
No.
got we got animal spies up next. You know, like the theory that pigeons are like camera agents.
Okay. How many of these do you think are gonna be ranked underpants go on the outside? I feel like
I feel
so
like half of
far
them.
we're not yeah, so far we're not doing good. Uh again, all that it would take all that it would take for this to be even remotely feasible is one example. Just
Yeah.
one.
I mean, just grab a pigeon.
So the fact that I've worked with a lot of wild birds, so I literally have experience on this. Maybe in extremely isolated examples, right? Like we did do that thing with the CIA where we tried to train a cat to be a spy. It didn't work because it was a cat,
I remember
and
we shoved a
cats
bomb up a cat's ass and tried to kill somebody with it.
like cats are just notoriously difficult to work with, and so maybe somebody was like, "Yeah, but birds."
Mm.
But at the end of the
Hold
day,
on,
no.
wait. I'm kind of buying it. More than one tinfoil hat. It might go down a little bit. I kind of believe it.
Okay, okay,
You're kind of
okay.
persuading. There might be some animal, like some camera pigeons. Have you thought about it?
No, well, it's not about thinking about it or not. Can you give an example of when one has been discovered?
Well, no, because they're spies. Why would they be discovered?
Well, because nobody's perfect. No animal is perfect. So eventually we would get something. Here's the issue, right? Animals make mistakes, they make issues because they're living creatures. Same with machines. Okay. So if it was like a robotic, thing, a robotic spy, how come nobody ever found one that broke down and then it falls out of the sky and hits the ground and is obviously a drone? We've never found that, right? Um, I've never heard of anything like that, so I can't imagine that has any weight to it. And if it's biological, same thing, right? How come, we haven't ever seen evidence of it? Like we've used animals in warfare. There was that famous, what was her name? I believe it was either Russian or Ukrainian leader that allegedly had the whole city bring pigeons or birds from their houses and tied like flaming pieces of cloth or whatever to their legs and then release them so they all flew back to their nests and set every house on fire. Like we've used animals in warfare, but I just feel like this has got to be an underpants go on the outside because I don't think that you can believe this without really having really having an addiction to meth.
More than one tinfoil hat because I think it'd be mad funny if it was true. All right, appendix denial, as in
Okay,
appendixes do not exist.
that's top. That's evidently false.
Well, I mean, what if they don't exist though, and it's just your body explodes sometimes?
Right, but you could cut up anybody and find an appendix unless their appendix has been removed. Like we know it's there.
Yeah.
We even know what it's used for. Like we didn't know that for a long time. We know what it does. We know why we have one. We know why it's become vestigial and why we no longer really fully use it. It's not actually entirely vestigial either. That's actually misunderstood. But yeah, underpants go on the outside. Evidently false, demonstrably false.
You know, this also could be based on the idea that the appendix does nothing, but I'm just gonna go with the idea that an appendix doesn't exist because that's far funnier.
Well,
And they're both
if,
wrong anyway, so.
yeah, they're both wrong because we know what the appendix was used for, and we've got a better idea of how it actually does kind of have a use now. So no, that's
Aquatic
underpants go
ape
on the outside.
hypothesis, which is the theory that we had ancestral apes that were vegans and lived in the sea.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter to me. I think that if we found evidence that that's the case, but I mean, we know if we look far enough back and the the species record. We know that we weren't primates until we've been on land for a long time. So the idea of something going back to the water is not super common in evolution. I think it's happened, but it doesn't happen often. And why would an entire being? I think that my suspicion is that this is a foundational hypothesis to support claims of things like Atlantis, right? Which is another absurd, conspiracy theory that's based on fictional writing.
Oh,
So,
speaking of which, we actually have that here. All right, Atlantis.
okay, I'm gonna need you to fact check me here. I believe it was Socrates or Plato. Somebody was writing about an ideal society, and they posited, Atlantis as this. But again, this is just as feasible and just as reasonable as there being a place called Hogwarts. Like it has the exact same amount of possibility for this being true as Hogwarts being true, right? There's no actual sources. This is not like a hidden secret thing. This is imagine this mystical place where society was managed in this way that, could be described as, what's the word for the perfect society? There's a word for it. Utopia. This utopian idea is the like actual foundation of Atlantis. So I actually think that the aquatic ape is just a posited hypothesis to support Atlantis being a real
I
idea.
think Atlantis is actually approaching reason, though. Hear me out on this. It could have been a place. It's reasonable.
Uh,
It's
well,
not
I guess it depends on
impossible.
it. It depends. No, but I'm not saying that it is impossible. I'm saying that like Atlantis specifically comes from a place of fiction, right? So you would have to then agree that Hogwarts could be real, and you would have to then agree that any mythical place could be real because they have the same basis of possibility within reality.
Next, you're gonna tell me Finland's real. I'm just gonna put in skeptic. Artificial moon. Okay. Now, hear me out on this one. Where do you think Irish people come from?
Ireland.
No, no, no. They come from artificial moon. Art. Ire. Art. See. Same place.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Bush did 9/11.
They're not even gonna let me address the artificial
Bush
moon.
did 9/11.
Listen, okay, so here's the thing. If Bush did it, if this is true, if the whole spare change thing and our government was behind 9/11, it's already poorly named because Bush didn't do it, right? If Bush had a part in it, Bush still didn't do it. This would be something that was orchestrated by many, many, many people. So this would be better fit in some shadow government bullshit
But
conspiracy
have you ever
theory.
considered that maybe Bush was the pilot and he just jumped out last second?
See, that's where I take issue with it, is actually in the wording. Either way, I know what it's talking about, and I think that it's feasible, but extremely unlikely.
What?
There's a lot of facts that suggest that it might be the case. The fact that apparently gold was removed, I don't know if that's actually true. The fact that some people just didn't show up, except a whole bunch died. Like, I feel like you have to be extremely callous to really want to believe in that. Yeah, it's like Alex Jones and Sandy Hook, right? Like if you're going to actually put stock into it, you have to be willing to believe that our government was, callously murdered all these people for oil. And yeah, there's a world where that's a possibility, but I don't want to believe it. So I'll say that much. And I don't think that there's enough evidence to say that it's true because I think that people would have been prosecuted for it, with like the Epstein files and everything else, where people actually are, being held responsible, and this whole like we're hiding shit. We're gonna go and pretend Epstein, didn't kill himself or killed himself or whatever. People hiding stuff is kind of falling apart. And yeah, it's obviously a huge miscarriage of justice that not everybody involved has, been prosecuted for this, but I think we're in the process of trying to do the right thing. I don't think that we would be even doing that. If that was true, I think that people would have already suffered for it. And I just don't. I think that it was a horrible thing that happened to a lot of innocent people.
Charles Manson, CIA.
Charles Manson being a CIA plant could be a thing.
I think
Um,
that one's actually kind of reasonable. I'm gonna put in okay, okay. I think that one's almost true, honestly.
it very well could be. I don't think that we would ever hear from it by the CIA, and I don't think that Charles Manson ever saying it would have meant anything.
Yeah, no, I've got
Because
that. I've got that's basically true, but it's not quite there yet.
look, I don't have any evidence for it, so I'm not going to say it's true. But I do have a lot of evidence for the CIA doing absolutely hilariously goofy things, like um, planting bombs in seashells for Castro and shit like that. Like there is some hilariously Three Stooges level shit that the CIA did. And so like them trying to start a race war, man, I don't know. I I don't know. There's a lot to suggest that the CIA did some really stupid shit. So I could kind of see the CIA coaching Manson and drugging him and shit and trying to encourage him to do this.
Nah, nah. You know what? I'm gonna move it down to true because I trust him. All right, Epstein alive.
Uh no.
I think this one's approaching reason. Honestly, I'm a believer.
Okay. I don't know any evidence that there'd be a huge cover up if that was the case, and then I mean, it might be a little intellectually dishonest, but I'm going to choose to not believe that because I don't want to believe that people within our country, within our government, would go so far to protect somebody that was that monstrous.
I think I can throw it in skeptic reasonably here. I'm gonna throw it in the skeptic. Elders of Hiberia or Hiberneria, whatever the fuck. Basically, it's an idea of a Catholic like group that only like had Irish people.
What?
It was this idea that there was this ancient Catholic like cult to religion that was only allowed to have Irish males.
What?
I think we have to go with
We did.
we
We didn't openly want or accept Catholicism right away. We actually kind of resisted it. By then, we wouldn't have just been Irish, because for many generations we were invaded back in the like sixth, seventh, eighth century, whatever. We were half Nordic by then. So I don't know. I mean, it sounds like one of those pure blood, conspiracy theories. Either way, like I can't imagine that there was a lot of people that were very pro-Catholicism in Ireland until much later. So we're talking about ancient times, I guess, is probably relative. You'd have to define ancient.
I'm just gonna put this on underpants goes on the outside.
It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
UFOs. Okay, I don't know. This one's getting more than one tinfoil hat. It's possible, honestly. So specifically extraterrestrial UFOs, though.
All right. Well, if we're talking about extraterrestrials, then I don't know. I think there is the tiniest chance that extraterrestrial life has visited Earth, but by tiniest chance, I think it would be more likely for you to walk through a solid wall and simply have all of your atoms rearrange themselves in a way that you were able to phase through that wall than extraterrestrial life coming here. It's a huge universe, and I would be silly to think that life couldn't possibly exist anywhere else. But why are we so important that it would come here? Like, I almost find the idea that aliens want to come and hang out on Earth to be a little offensive, because I don't think we're that special.
Now, you say that we're not that special, but I have something that proves that we're very special. Neanderthal shadow government.
Okay.
It's the idea that there's a shadow government of Neanderthals that control everything.
Okay. Well, from what we knew about Neanderthal culture, they were really peaceful people, which is why humans won. In the end, like Homo sapiens won because we were meaner. So explain to me why Neanderthals would want to control. Is that just a thousands of year long revenge plot? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, however long? That's ridiculous.
Now, I'm just gonna say I want you to keep believing it's not true, so we're just gonna move on. Chemtrails! You know when planes leave those little things out behind them with the white lines? It's chemicals being released into the air.
It's not. We know it's not. Every picture that anybody ever posts showing like planes with a whole bunch of like containers on them, those are usually water to simulate passengers. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Keep going, honestly. We'll just
no, it's underpants on the outside. There's no chance in hell. It's not a thing.
First,
there's too much atmosphere. You couldn't
Incident, though. O.J. Simpson innocent.
I I'm just gonna use one thing to counter this.
The glove didn't fit though, so it's true.
If I did it, that's evidence enough. That's evidence enough for me. If I
Yeah,
did
because
it
you
is evidence
didn't
enough
do
for
it.
me.
It's an if. I get it. It's going in true.
Oh my God.
Flat Earth. Okay, this one is just we're just gonna put it on the top and go past it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
All right, Tupac lives.
As was previously discussed, there's no motive. Nobody benefits from this, right?
Actually, Tupac
Tupac being a
benefits from it though.
right, but why orchestrate your own death, right? Why do that? Like the best case scenario, you don't actually die, but you've broken a law. So you have to just like leave the country. You never get to see anybody that you ever knew before, because it's illegal to do that. But he would have resurfaced at some point. He's a beloved character. It's right up there with like Elvis is still alive, and we know that that's not true as well. There was photographs taken of his dead body. Like,
But that
I don't
could have
know,
been
man.
anybody.
Or it could have been Tupac Shakur. Why are we so quick to claim that it's not, right? I don't
Ah,
know.
so
I
you're
don't.
saying it could possibly have been someone else. It's not going in underpants going the outside. It's going one tier below just because of that.
Okay.
Fluoride. The idea
What
that
Florida?
fluoride's in the
Florida?
water because the government wants to control you with it.
Fluoride's in the water because one of our biggest issues is dental health.
But it also
We
makes
know fluoride.
frogs gay.
No, it doesn't.
You, you
It
sure?
doesn't.
So,
So
so if
I
I
would
put
I
up a
would I
photo of
would
frogs kissing right now, you won't admit that fluoride made them
I would
gay.
I would demonstrate this right now if I could. I will drink arsenic live on camera. I will consume arsenic. It will just be so diluted that it won't cause me any harm.
Well,
It
no,
is
but your
possible for you to
attraction to men would go up though, like instantly. And you
the
would
problem.
pretend that it wouldn't, but I could prove that you were absolutely gayer after drinking it. Because if I show you
The,
gay porn and you get hard, that means it worked.
okay.
Now,
The
Epstein
pro.
connections.
Oh, we're just going past fluoride.
Nah,
Okay.
you're gay,
Because
bro. I'm sorry. It's just how
oh
it
my
works.
God.
That's why you're denying it, because you're too gay. The fluoride doesn't work on you.
Okay.
Epstein's
Wait,
connections. That one's just kind of true, actually.
yeah. I mean that shit has been found to be true.
Yeah,
Epstein was
this might be a
connected to
little
a lot of
outdated.
stuff.
That's like actually just true. We're gonna have to just put on true. It's honestly just true.
Okay.
Titanic never sank.
We went there. We have pictures of it.
What do you mean? That could be any boat.
We pulled stuff out from it.
You mean you pulled stuff out from a mimic book?
We literally went there. We
No,
literally
it
went
was a
there.
fake boat. See, it was a double boat. You weren't paying attention. That could have been a fake boat. See, the Titanic didn't sink. It was a fake Titanic.
Okay.
It could be
We're
true. Oh, have you ever heard about MK Ultra?
that we know that was true. That was research that was done on into mind control that people wanted to experiment with. That was something that we
That
did.
one
Yeah,
is this
that's
true. And then you have CoinIntel Pro or however the fuck you say it. That's true too. That was just a communist like United States government spy agency
well,
basically.
well it was they were from what you described it was an American communist group, but they were it doesn't mean that they're up to nefarious deeds or trying to put dictators in power. Like that's a conspiracy theory because of the Red Scare, not because it's there was anything
Ooh,
to
speaking
it.
of Red Scare, we have Nazi moon bases.
Just like anything else, it why specifically why Nazi, right? Like
Hold on.
you think that Nazis would have managed moon bases, but Americans wouldn't, right? Or Chinese wouldn't. Like we're just now trying to go to the moon again since the 60s. Why would the Nazis have taken rockets to the moon and established a presence there? I I think conspiracy theories like this come from a place of people not like people being so ignorant of what the technology was back then, excuse me, and the incredible achievements that were made in the original moon missions. You're talking about a way for people to live and thrive, to eat and breathe and drink, and taking all of this up to the moon in the 1940s.
Now, see, have you ever thought about maybe the moon landing's also fake? And then that way,
I
the artificial moon bases were actually just on a set somewhere. Have you ever thought about it?
Sure, I've thought about it. That doesn't make it true.
Oh, so you have considered it. Therefore, it's not going in top tier. All
I've
right,
considered all of these.
all
That
right. That's
doesn't mean
I gotta go since that's all the time we have for the rating. So I guess this is like a part one. We're gonna have to do a two-part series.
hooray.
This is the current ranking